Hey guys, Matt here at Brewery. Happy Homebrew Wednesday. So, I can finally talk about this beer. I've been knocked out of round 1 out of the SJ Pour Challenge. I don't know how I did overall, but I know I didn't make the top 3. So yeah, we can talk about this now because I'm not moving on to round 2. I don't know, whatever the reasoning, I for some reason just can never get out of round 1 for the SJ Pour Challenge. I'll keep trying. Anyway, this is a pale ale. So now it actually has a name. I just couldn't call it that during the SJ Pour Challenge, but I'm calling it 4 Poured. It's basically my take on like a 5 Alive beer. I don't know if any of you guys have ever had the 5 Alive juice drink from when we were kids. That's kind of what I was going for with this. So I made a nice pale ale base recipe, and I adjusted it to fit the guidelines of the SJ Pour Challenge. And then of course I added in some adjuncts to make it more like the 5 Alive. So it's got a lot of different citrus notes in it. It's got the lime in there. It's got the orange peels in there. It's got the the lemon. It's got all that stuff. And I guess it just wasn't a favorite of the fans in the challenge. It's fairly clear. It's not fully clear, but that's probably because of all the different adjuncts that are in there. I mean, this thing's been sitting in the keg for well over a month now. So if it's going to clear, it would have cleared by now. But it's got a wonderful aroma. I mean, I still smell a good amount of hop presence in there. I still smell the orange. I still smell some lime. Still smell a fair amount of the lemon as well. I mean, I smell all those things in here. So definitely pulled off what I was going for at least. So I've been drinking on this ever since I found out that I didn't pass. I'm loving it. So I'm happy that I can keep the other half of the keg for myself now. But anyway, cheers. Yeah, it's awesome. It's not quite the hop level of an IPA, but that's not what I was going for. This is definitely in the pale ale range of things. Very hoppy, and you get all those citrus notes that I was going for here. So I kind of wonder. I can't wait to see the scoring, and I can't wait to see the comments. I kind of wonder what I got dinged on, just because just for my own well-being. If there's anything I can improve with this, I'd like to know. But you know what? I like it, and that's all that matters. So what do I have for this week? There you go. SJ Pour. Round 2 is coming up. I don't know. I think I'm supposed to be a hub for round 2. I'm not 100% sure if that all has been figured out yet. I was sort of on the list for being tapped depending on where the placement is of everybody. So because I'm in the southeast, if it makes sense, if there's enough players on this side of the country that are moving on to round 2, then maybe I'll get tapped. Let's see here. I believe everything has to be sent to the hub by the 1st. So that information should come out soon, and then you'll know where to go. The other thing that I have going on, the lighting. So it's interesting. The stores around here haven't been the best. It's hard to find things still. Certain things, not everything, but more of a problem for me has been the hours. So a lot of the stores have been closing at 8, and because I'm on night shift, I don't wake up till 5 or 6 at night. So unless I get up and run out to the store, I'm likely not going to be able to get out and get anything that I need. And the LED lights back there, they blew. I don't know what happened. I only had them for, I don't know, a couple weeks, and they're all black on the one side. They blew out already. So I don't know what happened with those. There were supposed to be LED lights that fit into a fluorescent fixture without any adjustments. Worked great for a couple weeks, and all of a sudden they burnt out. I mean, it only cost me, what, $8 for the 2? So I guess I'm going to go out and buy a couple more and try them. So we'll see. I mean, worst case, I'll just replace the fixture, which is what I was going to do originally until I found out that those bulbs existed. So actually, I can show you guys since I have it here. You can see the end of them. They burnt a little bit. So I don't know. It's weird because these are supposed to be LEDs. So I don't know why they would have burnt like that. Anyway, I'm not going to have time tomorrow to replace them because tomorrow Gary and I are going to do a collaboration beer. We are going to do a New England style, a New Zealand style Pilsner. And we're actually going to call this thing South by Southeast, the New Zealand Pilsner. We thought that was a good play on words because it's a collaboration between Rec Brewery in South Carolina and Tapped Out Brewing in Florida. So it's South by Southeast. We thought that was clever. We had some other ideas for some interesting names all around the virus. We were going to call it something like, COVID Killer Pilsner, or I can't remember some of the other names. We had some funny names, but we decided that this makes a little bit more sense when someone reads the label. They'll know who's involved and what it's about. So so I'm not going to go over the full recipe, but we're trying to brew this to style, or as close to style as possible. So of course it's going to have primarily Pilsner in it. It's going to have some wheat in there. And all the hops that we're using are all New Zealand hops. Now, what's interesting is both of us are having, and I'm sure everybody's having, a similar challenge. We're having problems with getting everything we need from our homebrew store. They're not generally open. The ones here around me, they're not fully open. They're open to a point where they're delivering, and they have very limited stock. So I couldn't get some of the stuff that I needed to brew this beer, and it wasn't. We just sort of threw this together in the last week to figure, hey, let's brew this. So what's interesting is between the two of us, I of course had plenty of base malt, so I didn't have any problem with the Pilsner, and I already had one of the hops, but I didn't have the other two hops that are needed for this recipe that we kind of conjured up. However, Gary did. He had the hops, and I had the yeast. So we're scrambling a little bit, and we're trying to pull this off. So far, so good. I got my starter going. Gary's got his starter going. We split the yeast. I made a starter out of my yeast and split it, and then sent him half of it. And I restarted mine, and he started his today. We both express shipped each other the ingredients that we're missing. So we now all have everything we need, and we're brewing tomorrow. So we haven't quite pulled it off yet, but if this works, and it's sort of looking like it's going to be one hell of a collaboration. I mean, talk about an actual full collaboration from the point of not only just sitting down and coming up with a recipe together, we're also brewing together, as I have done with other collaborations, but just as an added twist and an additional collaboration factor, we literally shared ingredients to brew this beer. So it's going to be pretty awesome. So I think we're going to pop onto Zoom tomorrow. So if anybody wants to just pop in and say hi, I assume it's going to be public. I don't know how Gary's going to set it up, but the two of us are going to do that. We're going to have some footage. So we're going to try to record it, and I'll put it together a Brew Day video. So it should be a lot of fun. So yeah, that's pretty short one this week. That's really all I have going on. So I got that brewing, and then I have other things that I'm going to be brewing shortly after. I just want to touch on this. So the Unity Brew Day, I know enough people have mentioned this already, but the Unity Brew Day was last Saturday. It was awesome. I mean, I couldn't brew, but I popped in the morning for a couple hours to hang out with Gary. Mike Dean popped in for a little while. Brian from Short Circuited Brewers popped in for a little while. And it was fun just to kind of, hang out with the guys for a little while. I had to go to bed because I had to work that night. So I did pop on again when I got up, and then I popped in yet again later on in the night when I was sort of taking a break from work. And good timing, I popped in right, as they were kind of wrapping things up. So I didn't get any footage, but I did get a screenshot, and I'll go ahead and post that up here for you guys to see. So we had a little bit of fun there at the end of the day, and everyone was just having a good time. Everybody had finished up their brew day at that point. I think they were waiting on Dave. He was brewing a triple brew day, so he was just wrapping up his third brew as I popped on. So that was, man, what a monster! What an achievement! I've done a double brew day, and that is exhausting. I couldn't imagine doing 3. So props to him for getting 3 beers done. The next opportunity I have purposely taken off for. So May 2nd is supposed to be International Brew Day. It's being sort of sponsored and hosted by the American Homebrewers Association and whoever else wants to join in. So I know a lot of brewtubers are going to do that. I will as well. I'm going to do a live session somehow, linking into the Zoom or however works best. And I'll be brewing something that day. I'm not quite sure what yet. I might brew my Munich Helles that day, just because that's the next thing I'm going to do. I'm actually going to use the same yeast, if timing works out, from this Pilsner in that beer. So should be good. Well, that's really all I have for you guys this week. So I'll leave it at that. See everybody on the brew day tomorrow if you happen to pop in. And yeah, take care everybody. Happy Homebrew Wednesday. Cheers.